I got my first loss. It was to a really random Taya burn deck. I ended up not getting any of my 6 options to get Red Eyes out. Andy ended up getting Lava Golem. And I tried... So on the very last turn, he had Lava Golem on my side of the field. I had 1500 left, plus he had Burning Lands. And I drew into an Econ, but I wasn't able to set my toggle to on in time to use it. So I would have ended up winning that one, but didn't have toggle on. I guess if they have Lava Golem and you might draw into an Econ, you should always have your toggle on at that time. And then I lost one to Toon Barrel. Once again, no way to get like no Red Eye Zombies in my hand, no Insight, no Spirit. So it's pretty unfortunate. I would have won if I had any of those. I also started with Bacon in my hand, so pretty unfortunate. Oh, and then I ended up drawing Wall of Disruption. One turn too late for it to count. Well, for it to have me win the game. So, yeah, you can definitely lose from bad situations. And this deck definitely isn't the best versus Toons. Especially if they open with Toon Barrel plus Toon Kingdom on turn 1. I still had like really good, well, really close to good opportunities to beating those 2 decks. But I don't know, it just gave me kind of poor hands for this situation. A lot of the times, like, you'll still have an opportunity to win your duels. So just, even if you start at the brick hand, you might as well play it out. Fields of Warriors. It's interesting. My hand's looking pretty good here. But I did start with both Red Eyes in my hand. So I'm like, alright, I want to keep my card advantage. So I'm going to mill one from the deck. And then I'll mill with Gazuki. Here, I didn't really commit to getting a Red Eyes from my hand. I figured, well, maybe I could block an attack, or I could get a Red Eyes out. Like, I really should have just milled a Samurai Skull, so I really should have committed to a better option. Because I just lost that, like, huge amount of utility there. So that was a bad play on my part. And I'm going for game already. Or no, wait. Not game, but... oh, yeah, I am going for game. So you can make plays like you can still use monster effects during the battle phase even if you use anti-magic arrows. So suiciding Gazuki while you have another zombie to banish lets you send out Red Eyes. And in a lot of situations, if you have a Red Eyes out plus 2 other monsters, and they only have 1, you'll often have lethal with magic arrows. So you should look for situations like that. There he had 2, and I had 3 monsters out, but suiciding Gazuki lets me get out a 3rd. So as long as he didn't have something like Kuriboh, which he had an empty hand, he wasn't able to do anything about that. So I feel like there's a lot of times where people have lethal and they just don't even realize it. Maybe they make their plays too quickly or something. Like, I usually make my plays pretty quickly, but I do like try to think of a ton of different situations really quickly, like what would happen if I do what. So here I learned from my mistake. Well, let's see, Red Eye Spirit, enemy controller. Wait. I used Insight, right? Yeah. So I have a Red Eyes in my hand. I learned from my mistake of not... Well, like, I planned on summoning Red Eyes from my hand, so I learned from the mistake of not just dumping the Bacon Saver right away without thinking about it. He has Wall of Disruption, kind of expected. I wait for the damage to be reduced. Then still his monster with a different one, with the weaker one. Do the damage, revive with Spirit, go for game. I knew he didn't have a Kribo after I attacked with that, with his own knight. So you could either lower his monster's attack by sacrificing your monster before the effect goes off, or you could just, like if you want to go for game, you could end up stealing their monster mid-attack. Of course, if they have something like Kribo or more back row, the econ take play would be, like, while his monster would get lowered too, would probably be the safer play. So like if he had even just like one more set back row, or if I thought he had a Kribo, I would have went for the other option. So this guy's a huge Red Eyes deck. Kind of weird. Andy's Silent Mines? Andy's running magical something? So of course I'm going for game again. I do it early because I have anti-magic arrows. I decide to negate it just because I figured his last card wouldn't actually be that helpful. Either way it works. Maybe I should have played it safer, maybe not, I don't know. In that situation, it's hard to say. Just because, like, it was so easy to just go for game there, seeing as he'd have to burn his final back row, and then he'd only be down to one or two somewhat weak monsters. Weaker than Red Eyes. I guess if he had something like Windstorm, it could have been pretty bad. And then if he drew into a dragon and just dropped it with Vanguard. Really didn't think his other one would be that crazy. 25 card Gladiator Beast. Not sure why there's so many more people running high amounts of cards. I guess this is just like bringing out everyone to PvP. Okay, so this part made me kind of mad. He summoned a Gladiator Beast, and it never gave me the option to chain. Like as soon as he sent this out, I wanted to use Red Eye Spirit or Curse of Anubis. I was thinking about just using Curse of Anubis, but like he sent it out, no prompts, and then he used anti-magic arrows. I have no idea why it never gave me the opportunity in between him summoning and him using that. Like, I know I can't chain anything to this, but I wanted to use it before he even showed he had it. So I lose 2 spirits. So that's super annoying. But at this point, I can Miligazuki, special summon Red Eyes, use my own anti-magic arrows to prevent his back row. So he's down to just 2 cards, and I'm at 3. He somehow gets a normal monster to counter Curse of Anubis. So that started getting really annoying. I'm like, alright, if that's Mirror Wall, I'm pretty pissed. But it's Super Rush. So I can just deny my own attack with Bacon Saver. So I end up keeping my monster. Here he has Wall of Disruption. I was playing around it by keeping him. But then I'm like, well, I should probably keep my attack up. So I just used Curse of Anubis anyways. And then I guess he drew a brick. Which is kind of likely when you're running 25 cards. Or at least more likely. Like, you get a pretty good hand for having that many cards. Yeah, normally when they summon a monster, you get prompts for your spells and traps. There, it just skips straight to him using anti-magic arrows. It's just so annoying. Alright, what do we got? We got a Red-Eye Spirit face down. We got a bunch of stuff in the grave already. Including a bacon, I think. Alright. Oh no, I drew bacon. Okay, I remember that. For some reason he has Mecha Beast Hamstrat, even though he has this card to get golems out. I guess he has it for stalling. So I just decide to revive Red Eyes during the battle phase, just in case he had Wall of Disruption. Alright, so I don't mind losing one Gazuki. Insight's a decent draw. This Bacon Saver being in my hand's really annoying me though. Like, sometimes it feels like 2 Bacon Savers would be really good. Him having Curse of Anubis there is pretty unlucky. Makes my Red Eyes vulnerable. He draws another one. Guy is making these guys actually like really good alongside Gear Castles. So if I had Bacon, that wouldn't have been able to kill me because he used this monster to kill the other one. So I'd be in a much better spot because then I'd be able to use Red-Eye Spirit, get both Red Eyes on the field and get him to 3k. So here's where Wall of Disruption really sucks. Alright, so I have Wall of Disruption, Red Eyes. I can use Beatdown to get over these guys. And a Wyvern. So I get rid of one. Bacon saves me. Suiciding is the best option. Probably not. Curse of Anubis is pretty good. I use it in the battle phase. So now he's out of monsters. I'm down to 200. He has 2 dead cards in his hand apparently. Alright, one was playable. Alright, so he got scared. He's like, that's probably Mirror Wall. He's been holding on to it this whole time. If he paid attention to prompts, then he should know that it wasn't chainable at any point. But then I just draw Econ and oh, I did that same play I did earlier. So instead of just stealing his monster and making it also lose its attack, I decided that, well, I already saw that it definitely wasn't a Karibo in his hand, just from going for the attack. Then he uses Wall of Disruption. I wait for my attack to get lowered, and then I steal, and then I just kill him with his own monster. So there's definitely ways to play around Wall of Disruption. Definitely still a really good card. I'm not sure if I 100% want to keep it in my deck. It has worked out extremely often, but something like Super Rush or Mirror Wall being chainable at like almost any time is actually like really good. I wouldn't even mind having a second Bacon Saver or something over it. Like, if you start with Bacon Saver in your hand, and you have cards like Gazuki plus Samurai Skull that you really want to use right away, plus like you want to pressure your enemy, so setting Bacon Saver isn't always a good option. Like, sometimes you'll be able to use them for like an Econ take play, but it definitely sucks starting with them when the main purpose of your deck is to pressure your enemy as soon as possible most of the time. Yeah, that's all the replays for now.